I can always count on my next guest to teach me something new. And in this case, it's a type of flowering plant that I've never heard of before. This is an Abutilon, and Ciscoe Morris says even the hummingbirds love the living twiddle out of it. And he's back to tell us where to plant this beauty. And you, of course, brought some here in real life. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Kelly. So fun to be here.
So tell me about this. I've never heard of this plant. Is it a shrub? Is it a tree? What category is this in?
This is a shrub, and it comes from down in South America.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I saw these 20 feet tall in Ecuador.
Oh my gosh.
And they're from Brazil, Ecuador, all those countries. And they're in the hibiscus family. So, like, look at that big red flower here.
I know. And you cut these, but they weren't loving being cut,
Oh
right? What
my
can you tell
gosh.
me about that?
I thought
this morning?
this one doesn't look so bad, but most of them, they just bloop.
After 30 minutes, right? In the
Yeah,
car ride?
just driving down here, they just kind of went bloop. And they were in water the whole way down.
Oh my goodness.
So not a good cut flower. Sorry about that.
But what do you like about them?
Oh, first of all, hummingbirds dive for these.
Really? They're dive bombing?
Yep. So I have this one and this one. They're together out in the garden. I call it Hummingbird Corner. They're just there all the time hitting these, you know. These are members of the hibiscus family.
Okay, and are there different types too as well?
Yeah, so like this is red tiger. I love that one. This is a real rare one. It's called
like
jungle persimmon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And
Gosh.
look at the foliage on this guy.
That's what I was going to say. The leaves on that are stunning.
Yeah, it's Thomsonii, and normally it would look a little nicer. Poor guy, you know.
It's okay.
But,
they don't like to be away from their plant.
Yeah.
And what are the red ones? Is that in the same family or?
Exact same family. They're Abutilon. Some people call them flowering maples because a lot of the leaves look like maple leaves.
That makes sense.
But so yeah, there's all different kinds. I can't remember the name of this one.
That's okay. We'll call it red guy today.
Red guy. And this little guy is Megapotamicum.
Oh, geez.
This is the hardiest of all of them. So you can leave this one out and you don't have to worry about it
Even in
dying.
like the winter or like?
They hate the
They
winter.
wait, okay.
Here's the bad news. So you buy a really cool, this like red tiger here, and you plant it. And this red tiger in my garden is 14 feet high now.
No way.
Yep. And the question is, will it live through the winter? There's only one way to find out. If you leave it out there, it's either alive in the spring
Well,
or
have
it's
you ever
dead as
had
a doornail.
Any luck then? Has it happened where
Some, like
some?
this guy made it last winter out in a pot.
Okay.
I covered it in the coldest weather. I threw a sheet over it with stakes, so if it snowed, it didn't get flattened like a pancake.
Okay, that's a good pro tip.
Yeah,
and
but-
where do these go in your garden, like right now? Like, where are they liking?
Oh, they like being in the sunshine.
Okay.
You know, you can grow them in the shade, but they don't bloom as well. So I like them in the sun, you know, and they do, but they have to have well-drained soil. And a lot of them I put in pots as centerpieces with really cool gardens around them, you know.
That's what I want to talk about too, is like how you keep these babies alive.
Well, here's the bad news.
Like pruning, what do we need to know?
You don't need to prune these hardly at all unless they're getting too big or they send out a branch you don't want it. That's all you got to prune. The problem is, since you don't have any idea if they're going to survive through the winter, a lot of them, like this 14-foot one here, I cut it way down, pot it up, stick it in my unheated garage by a window, and keep it going all winter long. I give it water, and I don't fertilize it or anything, but I keep it growing. And then in spring, they look horrible, but they're still alive, and you cut them way down and plant it out. And, you know, you plant this red tiger, and now it's already 14 feet. That was the first picture we showed, just covered with flowers.
Absolutely fantastic. And as August and stuff is coming to a close, what else should we be worrying about and thinking about in our garden?
Well, I think you really want a deadhead now. All the old flowers that are on there, cut those off, and they'll come out with new flowers. And if you've got some container gardens where the plants are going way too long, you got a petunia starting to go along the ground, just go ahead and cut it way back. And
Okay.
and then fertilize it to weed a lot of it. You got to do that, and then they'll come back and start blooming again. They'll be blooming into October.
We love it. Thank you,
Oh la
Ciscoe.
la.
Thank you for being here.